Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So just here to play again with the very vintage kits. We're obviously putting this journal together, and in the last video that I did playing with this kit, we'd kind of roughly laid things out, you know, kind of where we may have them in the journal, and we just kind of had begun popping them in and gluing things into place. So it's just a continuation of that really, and I just thought I might as well kind of, you know, switch the camera on and bring you guys along for the ride really. So, you know, grab your stash and do a bit of crafting and, you know, just have a bit of fun and relax really. So I'm just having a look through. I think what we'll do, we'll get on with this page now. Now, I'm just wondering whether I want to actually paperclip this down or whether I want to, you know, have string. And I just checked on this page. This page has got string, so I probably won't go with string because, you know, that to me then feels a bit strange to have string on kind of two consecutive pages. So I think we'll kind of leave her, you know, minus the string. So we'll pop her here. Now I'm just wondering whether we want to do a bit of stamping somewhere. So again, just having a look through my stamp colours, and I think probably just go with brown here. I'm just having a look. We've got this kind of stamp here, which kind of, you know, is quite a fussy one. So let me just grab my brown Stays On ink pad, which is in my bag here. Okay, so I've got my brown ink pad now. So let me just sit that down on my chair. So I think we'll just have a little bit of stamping going on. And obviously if you watch my channel a lot, you'll know that I'm very boring when it comes to stamping. I just love nothing better than just stamping kind of my favourite corner stamps in the corners. So I'll just check this iPad's juicy enough. I haven't used it for a while, so just wanted to check that the ink was kind of okay before kind of getting stamping on the page. So I'll just stamp a bit there. I'll just stamp a little bit up here. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. So, and then I'm just going to kind of pop that down, I think, probably here, I think. So I'll just use my wet glue. Hope everyone's having a nice day. Just clouded over here. Looks like it's about to chuck it down with rain. So I've got the lights on. I mean, it's only kind of, I think it's about 10:45 in the morning. So it's, you know, certainly it's not nighttime or anything like that, but it's gone over very black, and they did forecast, you know, not great weather today. So I'm just kind of preparing myself for a downpour. Right, so I'm just kind of, you know, making sure that that's pressed down nicely. So I'm just going to go this way now for a bit while that's drying, because if I turn it that way it may you know, interrupt it whilst it's drying. So I've got this one here, so we're going to kind of just pop her down. Again, we may want something else on the page with her, to be honest, so I'm just going to pull in a couple of the bits and bobs. So we've got, you know, we could have a matching version of her over in the corner. That might be kind of nice to kind of pick up what's on this page. So I'm just going to ink that up slightly. I haven't generally inked this kit. I thought it was just lovely in the vibrant bright colours, but I have inked this piece slightly because where it was printed on white, you could just see kind of the white slightly around there. So I'm just going to kind of have that over there. We're going to have her here. Now again, do we want any kind of stamping or anything kind of going around her? do we want any ruffle or anything? So I bought this green along today because I thought perhaps the green would be really nice. I'm really trying to kind of mix up the colours with this journal and be much more adventurous with my colour experimentation, I suppose. And it's really easy to do because this kit's got obviously tons and tons of colour. So, you know, I'm not struggling that much because actually, you know, it is a really colourful kit. So I just wondered about having that there. Or I've got some, this is actually a doily, which, you know, I've washed, and obviously now I'll just cut a strip from it. So we could just kind of edge it with a doily piece. Can't quite decide what we want here. Again, I'm at that stage where I just think I need to go and buy some plain pink fabric and make some bright plain pink ruffles. So I'm going to do that as soon as I get a chance to go to the shops. I'm going to do that. As I said before, you know, I always end up buying patterned fabric because obviously when you're in the shop, the patterned fabric is, you know, what I'm automatically drawn to because it's really pretty. But there are times when obviously, you know, you actually need something just plainer. And this is again one of those times. So I'm just having a sip of my tea. Put that down. So I think we'll have some lace on the edge. We could just have some lace at the bottom. No, I think we'll have it at the edge. So, and again, I just hot glue that down. I'm going to try and have it slightly curved. So just kind of glue that, you know, run the glue down at a slight kind of curve. Like that. Just cut that off. And I'm going to pop that pocket, oops, just like that, I think. So I've just got this piece here that we could kind of have somewhere. That's quite nice, isn't it? Oh yeah, I quite like that. So, I mean, just, you know, that's just obviously a scrap that I've just spotted on my desk, which is another one of those, you know, why would I want to clear my desk up? Because it's such a source of inspiration. It's such a source of rubbish. I'm just wondering whether to get rid of that little piece because it might be better without that. So let's just see what it looks like without that. With it. Might just get rid of that small piece. Okay. Oops. I say I'll get rid of it and then I just drag it straight back with the hot glue threads. So we're just going to pop her down like that. Okay. And I can't remember whether we made this pocket together or not, but if we didn't, all I did was I took her from the background page, fussy tore around her, and so she's now like a corner pocket, and then made her into a pocket by tucking her around some other background page, if that makes sense. So she's now that corner kind of tuck spot there, which is really nice, isn't it? So just get that there. Could have even another piece of lace actually there. Looks quite nice. And then I'll just see whether over here, whether we might want to kind of have her, just cut this down. Like that. That's quite nice, isn't it? So I'm going to pop it like that, I think. So I'll just glue this down first. Like that. Okay, and I'll just pop this bit down. Glue off, just dabbed a bit of glue on the other page, so I was just trying to get that off a bit. Okay, so we're going to have her there. She looks nice. Looks nice there. I mean, I've said before, but I just love having a lot of bits to fill my pages with. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I just always think more is more. And, you know, it's really fun kind of having a lot of bits to play with, really, in your journals. So, oops, just burnt my finger a bit. This journal kit is pretty massive. I actually can't remember now how many pages it is. I'm thinking it's 27, but I could be wrong. But obviously, you know, all the details are in my shop, but it's pretty huge, and it's got a lot of, you know, fussy cut ephemera pieces, which, you know, I just think you can't really have enough of, because that's how we make our pages look pretty, isn't it? By kind of all the bits and bobs around them. Otherwise they'd just be kind of boring old pages. So, oh, things are just stuck all over me now. Right, see whether we want some bling anywhere, because obviously the page wouldn't be quite complete without some sort of bling somewhere. Maybe down there. And I've also got this trim, which, I mean, this trim I just got, I think I got this from the Wish app. I couldn't possibly tell you, you know, what it came up under, but they've got lots of different trims and what have you there. Obviously, you can't always quite tell what you're going to get, so some of it's hit and miss. Generally, I think the things I've bought I've been pleased with and kind of thought they were good value. A couple of things when they've arrived I've thought, oh, they were much smaller than I expected, or something like that. So you just need to kind of be aware that obviously, you know, measurements aren't given, so it's probably worth, you know, just assuming what size something's going to be, because until it actually arrives, it could be, you know, any size really. Some of the things say the size, but some of them don't. So, and again, some of the things, you know, I've just placed one order literally ages ago. It was before Christmas, and I ordered quite a lot of things. Again, I was a bit gutted, because I was kind of really excited for a big parcel to arrive, and I hadn't realised that obviously the things are all sold by different sellers, therefore they all arrived separately. So instead of me getting one huge parcel, you know, that I was going to be having lots of fun looking through, it was literally kind of one titchy weeny, you know, you can imagine kind of a little string of this trim in one of those little kind of grey, you know, poly bags, and one of those kind of every day for, like, say, you know, 10 days. So it was, yeah, you know, there's some things that I thought, yeah, I'd order that again, and there's other things that probably wouldn't really be worth ordering again. So I like this page, how it looks. I'm just going to have a sip of my tea. In fact, I just finished my tea, so I'm not drinking it anymore. Now, I'm just wondering whether we could have some pink stamping. Now, still, all this time later, got that same old pink ink pad. So if you watched my actual junk journal series, my ink pad was running out even back then, and I'm still persevering with it. Still haven't ordered a new one. So because it's one of those things that I just don't really use particularly, so it's only like, you know, on the odd occasion when I come to use it that then I think, oh, I wish I bought a new one. But obviously it's so few and far between that it's kind of not really on my mind. Right, so that's how it's coming out. It's not too bad. I was going to have that tiny postcard, but actually I think it's a bit too, you know, insignificant on the page. So what I might do, I've got this one here. Let's try and see what this one looks like. Again, just probably stamping a portion of it rather than the whole stamp. I mean, I quite like that. The question is where to have it stamped, but possibly there, I think. So again, I'm just going to kind of ink up a part of it, kind of roughly half. I mean, it's not a precise thing, obviously, but we'll just kind of pop it here like that. Okay, and to me, that's kind of enough. That's all that really was needed there. We could have a little bit of script maybe on the other side, just to tie in the pink, really. So just, you know, pop a little tiny bit of script there, and that just to me looks really nice. So there we go. Okay, so going over the page again, we've got these two pieces that, if you recall, we kind of did the frame, we mucked it up, put it in the wrong place for the piece that we were going to have. So then we kind of mixed the pieces around because obviously we weren't really, or I wasn't really happy with kind of how it had been stamped. So we can have it like this. I'm just checking that we wouldn't rather have this paper clipped in, because again, this has got that beautiful back. It's always a bit of a shame to kind of cover it up. So what we could do is kind of leave this with the stamp of the frame. We could paper clip this as a floating kind of pocket. So if I just move this to one side, and then we could just pop something down on this side. So again, if I just have a look through some of those billions of bits of pieces that we've got here, I mean, we could have something like that, because obviously that's then continuing that frame theme. We've also got this, which obviously this then goes with this one, and we've got this little piece which is a tiny version of that, which again we could kind of have that, you know, kind of just like a little bit of interest there, like that. Let's just see what else we've got. Got this little banner here. Okay, so I quite like these here. I'm just going to kind of pull in a couple more pieces just to see what else we've got here. Excuse my throat, it's for some reason a little bit kind of irritating today. I don't know what that's about. I'm just having a look for more things that would kind of tie in nicely, kind of colour wise. So I do like the whole kind of frame thing, you know, the concept of kind of the picking up the idea of the frame from the stamped frame. I think that's really nice. So, or we've got this massive one. Right, I think I might go for the massive one. Let's have a look. It's nice to have kind of a big impact, isn't it? We're going to just clip that on. To be fair, I think either really look, you know, just as nice. Excuse my throat. I think either look just as nice. So I don't think we're going to be kind of, you know, having a problem kind of with either. I think they're both awesome, you know, really, really good. So again, I'm just going to take some blue and I'm going to just pop some script on the page. This one needs to be up this way, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit here and then a tiny bit down here, just so there's a little bit more kind of going on the page and it's not completely boring. So just put that on there. Okay, so, and that's kind of good enough. So I'm just going to glue this on. Now, just before I do, I might actually ink this up a little bit. Again, because, you know, I haven't really inked up any of the pieces, but there's just one or two pieces that are a little bit white, where I haven't got quite to the edge of the printed parts. So I'm just inking them up so that they're just kind of covered it up. But I don't, you know, covering up the white, but I don't want to actually, you know, ink the piece up per se, because you know, I'm quite enjoying the kind of clean look of this journal. So, and I just really love this digi kit as it is, and you know, I don't want to kind of spoil it by inking it up and kind of dulling the colours. I really do love the vibrant richness of those colours. So, I mean, I love the vintage look too, but just sometimes, you know, when you use it on very bright colours, it actually has a bit of a dulling kind of effect. And I just don't really want that on this one. So, right, let me pull in my tissue. There we go. Oh, that just looks lovely on that page, doesn't it? Really lovely. And then we're going to have, obviously, this just clipped on to this page. So just love that as it is. Now, we could obviously decorate this page a bit further, have a little bit of lace somewhere. You know, the lace looks really pretty. If I just actually trim this down a little bit. Oops, don't know what happened there. Just kind of trim that down like that. We could just have a piece of lace there. That's really pretty. And we're going to obviously have this lovely handsome man on the facing page like that. And I think we're going to tie him with string. I don't think I'm going to add any other pages to this because you know, it can actually kind of bulk it out quite a bit. Although, to be honest, it probably could take it. Although, it's hard to say because, to be honest, we've got a lot of pages left to kind of do. So, yeah, it's probably best if I don't add extra pages to him because, yeah, I might kind of bulk it out a little bit too much. And to be honest, what you could do is always add some extra pages if there was room. Just staple some together and then kind of glue down just the back page. So I think we'll kind of, you know, go for that really. So we could have that there, and then should we have a bow or something? Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? I love that. Right. So again, I'm just going to kind of glue this down. Just use some hot glue. bit more. Like that. Okay, I must say, yeah, really loving how this journal's coming together. It's, and I say this so much, oh, it's my type of thing, that, you know, sounds like I'm very fickle with what is my type of thing. But I think the thing is, you know, with crafting, everything turns out to be my type of thing, because everything just looks so good, doesn't it? You know, kind of once you start getting your stamps out and your lace and things like that, you know, I'm pretty sure that, you know, most crafters think that everything, you know, turns out to be kind of their type of thing, because we all just love all those different things, don't we? Right, so I'm going to have him there. I may have to put a stamped corner down here just because it's kind of calling me. So I think I'll just go for this one. I'd best just stamp it a little bit on here because, oh, lucky I did, because it's pink. I thought that was the blue. But actually, let me just see. Maybe I should go for the pink. What do you think? Oh, I might go for the pink, to be honest. It's really nice. I was reaching, obviously, for the blue, but the pink is looking pretty good, and I'm just going to do it here now for just continuity on this side of the page. Okay, right, back on. Yeah, another reason why to always try your stamped image out before actually sticking it down on the page, because you may pick up the wrong colour. Although, to be honest, you are probably all much more organised than me and have your things tidy and wouldn't make that mistake. But I mean, believe it or not, the inks are actually stored in my tiny weeny drawer. So, I mean, they are the kind of tidy part of my desk. Right. So, again, I'm just going to glue the string down. So, whilst that's drying, just going to move that to one side. Whilst that's drying, we could go back to, oh no, I thought we'd left something to dry, but actually all we were doing was leaving her to kind of dry onto the page, weren't we? So that's fine. Okay, so we've got her going on now. So what we could do is, because we've obviously got that pink stamping going on those last two pages that we did, we could just add a little bit of pink stamping here, because I don't want it to be kind of suddenly all pink in one area. So I'm just going to kind of stamp a little bit here in pink, you know, just so that we've got a little bit of pink going on elsewhere in the book. So, and then we were wondering about kind of popping this one down, which again, we could just clip her in, to be honest. I might just clip her in. So, you know, we're going to need to make quite a few paper clips, because I've said about clipping quite a few pieces in so far. So, yeah, I'm just having a look. We've got that one there. Okay. Okay. So we're going to have these two here. Again, love how these look. Really, really nice. So just wondering whether we want to have any stamping on this page, and if so, what colour do we want to kind of have it? I mean, probably brown. I don't think I've got anything else that would kind of go. I have got the olive green, but I don't feel that's quite bold enough really for this page. again, I'm just going to see whether we want any of that kind of doily piece, because I'm just aware that, again, we've used that now in a couple of places in the back of the book, and I don't like it when it kind of is all in one place, if that makes sense, as if you've just found that, you know, when you've not had that kind of in the rest of the book. So what we could do is kind of have it a bit like this. That's quite nice. So I think we'll go for that. So I'm just going to kind of, you know, this is just that little piece of doily that I kind of cut off. Just going to have it kind of overhanging like that. I mean, actually, now I'm looking, this again is another really pretty one that we could just have paper clipped in rather than stuck in. Just have a look. Might have a think about that. So whilst I'm thinking about it, we will glue this one in, and I'll just use the wet glue here. My head. Just trying to make sure I've got it kind of butt up against the edges, really. As close to the edges as I can. Like that. Okay. So we've got that one. Then we've got this piece here, which I'm just wondering, you know, we could pop that on there, and then we could just have this paper clipped in. I mean, the good thing about obviously doing them paper clipped is that then, you know, even if the journal is quite bulky by the end, the stuff will all be kind of take-outable. No, it will be removable. That's the word. See, even when there is a word, I sometimes end up making one up rather than use the actual word. Yeah, so they'd all be kind of removable rather than having to keep things in that are bulking the journal out. So I think maybe that would be kind of a good way to go. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. Okay. So then we've got this one here where we made this pocket. Now I'm still undecided whether we want this here or here or here. You know, I'm still undecided quite which way round to have these items. So I don't know. Let me have another look through to see where else kind of we could put any of these things. So got this one, which we're obviously having the man on here, aren't we? We have that there. We moved the man because we didn't want to have him twice in a row. That's just coming back to me now why we did that. We could have that pocket there. Let's have a look how that goes with that. I quite like that. So let's just try this elsewhere. I mean, sometimes it really is just a kind of trial and error process, isn't it? We have the back of here still to do. Could have that there, which is quite nice. So, which means we need to create something for this page and for this page. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that, I think. So let's pop this one down. We'll just commit to this now. So again, do we want something else in the background of here? Maybe kind of nice. So let's just have a bit of a look at what we've got here. Just pull in some of the bits and pieces again. So we've got all sorts of bits and bobs. Got those flowers. Got this little kind of piece, which is kind of cute, isn't it? Got some giant tags. Right, I was looking to see whether we had a piece with those matching kind of flowers, which that appears to be. So I may go for that, I think. Just checking whether I've got anything else with those flowers. So right, because I think they're the same as these. So I may have that here. So I'm just going to, again, just ink this up because, again, you know, this one, it's not so easy to cut right to the, you know, right into the shape. So the edges, therefore, just remain the colour of the card that you've printed on. So, you know, it's quite easy to just obviously go around those and just ink them, and then they're kind of completely matching now. So that's that. So we could either have it kind of poking out, or we could cut it in half. And kind of have it actually kind of maybe like that, going from the spine is quite nice. And then what we could do is have, I was going to say the white ruffle, and this is the only other piece of white ruffle I've got at the moment. I need to make some more, which I'm not sure whether I will have time to do before this journal's done. So I'm just going to have a look. Just going to cut this down again because it was quite nice working with it in those thin strips. Just see whether we kind of want some of that like running down, or let's just cut that here. Have it there. Yeah, that's quite nice, I think. So again, I'm going to do a bit of stamping, and again I will probably use, I think, again the pink, because again we've got the bulk of the pink stamping further in the book. So again, just get my pink out. I might just use this one. I can see that this one's pink, so I'm not going to bother with the testing it out. I can see really obviously that it is pink. And I'm not going to kind of make a mistake by picking up the blue. Well, you know, I could have made it, but what I'm saying is I could see that I hadn't, so that's all good. Right, and I'm just going to pop a bit in the corner of the facing page, just to kind of tie that in like that. So we're going to glue this down. I'm going to glue it down, I think, oops, as a kind of pocket. Like that. Down there like that. Just stand up and check how that's looking. Okay, and then we're just going to then pop this label kind of coming out from the seam there. Sorry, I've got glue kind of pieces all over me, so they're now coming off on the page. Okay, so we just tuck that in like that. And just press it down. Just going to move it out slightly so that when the book folds, it's not kind of too much in the way, because actually I was initially pressing it really in. Then we're going to have our doily piece kind of coming down here. It's probably quite nice with the fancy edge. I just wonder whether we wanted it a bit shorter. So maybe we'll have this piece instead. Okay, like that. So I'm just going to, again, kind of glue this in. So I'll just kind of hold it in place, roughly where I want it. Okay, so that looks really pretty. Again, I'll just see if we want like some of this beautiful kind of blingy bits or anything. So let me just cut that like that. Oh, I cut it and just flung it straight out of the way. Right, there we go. Like that. I'm just going to see if I've got any other pink bows. Sorry, I did just knock my camera setup, which is that just hashed up kind of child's chair stood on the back of my desk with the books all piled up still. I have started looking at some arms that you can get. Oh, I might have to have that. You can get from, you know, Amazon and places. I film on my iPad, so I was kind of stalling because I thought maybe they were only for phones, but actually I have found a couple that do appear to be, you know, for tablets. So I think probably it would work. You know, so I may kind of order one, because then I think it would be better. Although, who knows, but it's just kind of finding them that would angle kind of the right way, although to be honest, can't be surely worse than what's there now. So that looks pretty, doesn't it? I don't think I need the bling on there at all, actually. So I love how that looks, really, really pretty. And then again, what we could do is kind of tie something in on the other side if we wanted to. It's probably not really necessary, but we could. I mean, we could have that piece because that's got that same image there. I mean, I don't think it really needs it, and strangely enough, for about the first time ever, I actually think maybe it looks better without it. That's unlike me. No, I'm going to put it there because looking through the lens looks slightly different than looking when you're faced with it right in front of you. And so looking through the lens, it actually looked just really boring without it. So there we go. So that's now attached there. Okay. Right, love that page now. So that's that one. And now we'll just go back to our man, who's dry now. Well, dry enough anyway. So we can pop him down. So we're going to obviously have this clipped on at the top. And we're just going to kind of glue our gentleman in. Now, I would really like to get some ruffle in somewhere, but this may not be the page. So I think we're just going to have him like that. Okay. So just deciding whether to, might glue him in this way round for a change, so that the tag would go in from the other side. I think. I always kind of put them on the edge. I don't know why that is, but I think maybe it's because this seems a bit vulnerable if it's not got the heavier items to the edge. So perhaps I will glue him on the edge and have the pocket that way instead. Right, so, and again, I'm just going to hot glue him down because this is thickish kind of card that he's on, and it just makes it nice and easy to hot glue him rather than have to wait for the kind of glue to dry. It's not so bad when it's thin, but this is actually kind of thicker coffee dyed card, which then obviously, you know, it's just kind of slightly better to have it stuck down instantly rather than having to wait for him. Okay, so I like how that looks. So I'm still debating what to do opposite this man, and I'm still obviously deciding what to do here opposite this pocket. So obviously we haven't decorated this pocket up at all, but I have got a few other little bits that I made, if you recall, that we hadn't used yet. So let me just pull some of those in, just see whether we've got anything kind of ready-made that would just be just right kind of thing for there. So we've got this one, which is one of those Matchbox books. So we've got that one. We've got, oh, this was just a fold out paper that I thought, again, we could just kind of paper clip that on. And we've got this one, which is a fold out kind of like a kind of booklet. So we may use that, I think. And we've got this one, which is a kind of, again, like an envelope. And then we've got these couple of bits. So I think we might go for this. Yeah, I think we're going to go for that. Now, the question is, do we prefer it this way round or this way round? So probably this way round, actually, because this one being an opening one, I feel it kind of would benefit from a less curved page, if that makes sense. So we've got that. And then just having a look to see whether we want to kind of tear, put anything behind them, you know, that kind of ties the pieces in. We've got this, which is quite nice, that we may actually like to kind of pop that on here. It's quite nice, isn't it? Or do we prefer it on here, actually? Or maybe on there? Yeah, maybe on there, because then that kind of ties the two pieces in together. So I think we'll do that. Now, do we want this on some white lace? Let's have a look. Yeah, let's do that. So again, I'm just going to kind of hold the lace there slightly. Really not trying to be precise about this, you know, I'm just trying to get a bit of a, you know, a rough trim around there. Just getting rid of like the pointy kind of bits, really. You know, not kind of trimming it in any particular way at all. So there we go. Oops. Just got bits all over everywhere. So we put that down like that. I'm going to pop that on there. So I'm going to again hot glue this down, because then that was going to just glue that to the lace and to the envelope all in one fell swoop. We don't have to then worry. Oops. Okay. Oh, I like that. That's really nice. So we're going to pop that there. What we could do is make a kind of folding kind of piece that kind of comes off of here. Let me have a look again back through. In one of our very early times of playing with the kits, we just kind of cut this piece. So I'm just thinking whether we could actually attach it as a kind of, you know, fold out piece. The problem is I don't want to cover up any of the paper. It's so pretty. So it's then, oh, which way is better to cover? Probably that way is better, because it kind of ties in better with the other side. So I think we'd have to do it that way. So we'll just kind of tentatively kind of leave that there. I wonder if we could get this white ruffle in somewhere on these pages. So we could have it coming down this side, or we could have some at the bottom. Haven't done any ruffles at the bottom. Well, to be honest, we haven't really done many ruffles at all in here because I obviously have not had, you know, many of the right colour ruffles available. So, you know, that's a bit of a shame because I love using ruffles. Oops. No, I don't like it down the edge. So if we use it, we'll have it kind of to the side, I think. Probably down the side of that page, actually, I think is better. And then again, do we want to kind of have this lace anywhere? Maybe like that. Not sure. Just kind of looking to see what else is kind of calling to me on this page, whether maybe a bit of pink down there looks quite nice, doesn't it? I mean, just sometimes just add in the odd splash of colour, you know, just that kind of scrap. To me, that just looks really, that kind of transforms that, you know. And it's just the strangest thing because, you know, it literally is kind of using a little piece of scrap. But it kind of does make a little bit of a difference. So I might just kind of attach that down there. Like that. Oops. And I've got hot glue onto that other page, which that's annoying. Okay. It will be quite interesting if I don't end up making any other ruffles for this. It will be interesting to see whether this is much less bulky than my other journals, you know, whether it's actually the ruffles that are kind of bulking them out, or whether they're just, you know, it's just the sheer number of kind of embellishment pieces. I think it would be quite interesting to see which is the case. Right, so I just wanted to kind of pick that up on there, just like that. Okay. Oops. Now, do we think that it does want this flip out or not? Possibly doesn't, to be honest. That's maybe just in the way. I do want to have something else here, so it may be that we'll fussy cut some flowers out or something and put them there. So let me just pull the pieces back in. So I'm looking for quite a kind of biggish bunch. We've got those. We've got some on here. Oh, decisions, decisions. Sorry, I know this is a bit boring. Right, so just kind of wondering, because these obviously, you know, they have still got these same flowers. So although they've got the blue, I don't think that matters too much because they are still kind of tied in because of the other ones. So I think they look okay. And then what happened to the other half of that label? No. No, no, no. So I think we'll have to go for a bit of stamping up there. So again, I'm not sure now what colour to do. Oddly, and this does sound very random, I'm kind of almost tempted to do some blue because we're adding those blue flowers. I'm a little bit scared to do that in case it kind of looks really out of place. Let me just hold that blue up there. Do you know what? I'm going to just be adventurous and I'm going to go for that. So let's get, I think, just looking for my tiny corner stamp, which now I don't seem to be able to find it in my drawer. Now covered in ink as well. So, ink and glue. I've also got a bit of paint on my fingers from another project that I'm kind of doing. I said this before, I don't know quite how this happened, but before I was strictly kind of one project, then the next project, you know. I didn't kind of embark on the whole multiple projects at one time. And just somehow I've now started that. And it's kind of a bit, what's the word? I don't know. Kind of muddling, I suppose, like for your brain. You know, because your brain's kind of everywhere. And I keep thinking, right, I'm going to kind of finish one thing off and then another thing. It's not really kind of happening at the moment. I'm still veering off into kind of multiple things, but... Right, so I like that. So I'm just going to, again, just use the hot glue because then we get this stuck down nice and quickly. Do is a little bit down here. Okay. Oh gosh, that came out beautiful, that piece. Really lovely. Okay, right. Oh, how adventurous we've been. Then I'm going to just have this kind of flower there. And then obviously for me now, I feel I need to now get some sort of blue on this side, just for the kind of, you know, tying the blue in. So let's have a look. Maybe we should have that there or something. So again, I'm just going to ink around the very edge of this, purely for the same reason, you know, as we've talked about, that it's on that white card. So it's just to eliminate any kind of white that may be kind of showing. I mean, actually, this piece didn't really look too bad, but just, you know, just to be thorough. So we'll just wet glue this one. Okay. And then I don't know whether that's quite right, the one I just picked up there. So let me just ink something over there in blue. So I might just do the same places. So this corner, so it's kind of matching. Oh, come on, just last a little bit longer. I have finally ordered a new blue ink pad, which, to be fair, may have actually arrived before these videos are uploaded. And because, as I say, I'm doing multiple projects, you know, I may have even been using it before this video goes up, if you see what I mean. So if that's the case, just, you know, I haven't gone mad. It's just that where I've been doing kind of multiple things at the same time, obviously the overlap in the videos then, you know, because I'm trying to keep the cluster of videos together. so as we have similar subjects kind of together at least. You know, rather than being really madly all over the place, you know, which is kind of a little bit what's going on in my own real world at the moment with my projects. So but I'm aware that perhaps you lot, you know, you kind of don't want to actually kind of like to see that. So we've got this piece, which is then, you know, the same flowers here. So we could have that kind of there. We could cut that out. So I think we'll do that. So I'll just cut around this. These pieces are proving very useful. They're kind of like frames, and you know, I've loved frames forever. I loved frames kind of in my mini book days and my scrapbooking days. Oh, I do still make the odd mini book, but yeah, I've loved frames for absolutely yonks and yonks. Just, they make such a gorgeous statement on the page. They're just so pretty to look at, aren't they? So, you know, I really like using them. So now it's where to actually have that, where it fits on the page. Unless we have it kind of on the inside of our page, but then that's a bit pointless, isn't it? Unless we have it as the closure. Oh, I don't know. See, I don't like that because that's up high and it looks kind of too samey. So I think what I'll do is pop it down there. Let me just check how that looks. Okay. Just check how that green ruffle would look along here. That's probably not right. No, that's not right. Okay. We did wonder about having this, didn't we? This ruffle, I obviously had something rubbish going on with my sewing machine because it's a little bit all over the place. Okay, I might have it like that. So I'm just going to ink this one up slightly again because it's just got a slightly white effect around the edge. Oops. So I'm not kind of like inking it as such, but just, you know, where I've kind of missed cutting a couple of bits. So now, just wondered actually whether I needed to have some pink lace underneath that piece. So I'm just rummaging through now, trying to find my pink lace. Whether I've still got it here from another time. I must still have it here, I think. But there we go. Just wondered whether it might look kind of nice under the pink. Let me just cut around that. So I can get a kind of better idea. Yep, I quite like it with the pink lace. Now, again, just trying to see whether it's up the right kind of seamy type way. Okay, so again, I'm just going to hot glue this down. Like that. Okay. And we're going to just pop this one down. I mean, we could even have it over there, but let's have it kind of here, I think. Again, I'm just going to kind of glue it down on 3 sides. Again, just hot gluing for speed. It's nice and quick then. Just pop it down like that. Whoops. Don't know what that was that just fell off of my desk. Sounded like a jar. Just a tiny jar of flowers. Just fell onto a couple of bits of fabric that I've got to the side. Right. Okay, so that's our piece there, and then we're going to put our ruffle down there on the edge. Now again, I'm just going to kind of trim this ruffle up because you know, I like the frayed look, but this one, it's a little bit too messy, so I'm just going to kind of trim it down slightly, making it look a little bit better. Okay, and then a little bit this side. So obviously, I mean, so far I haven't uploaded any of these videos with the Very Vintage, and I say that, what I mean is like right now as I film, but I have obviously done quite a few videos. But so if you've purchased the Very Vintage kit, I hope that you're enjoying using it. I'm enjoying using it myself. You know, it's lovely to use something that's so vibrantly coloured. It's you know, really pretty. Oops. And it's giving lots of kind of opportunity for kind of mixing up colours, which, you know, as you know, is something I kind of struggle with. So this is kind of quite a good way for me to kind of push me outside of my comfort zone. Right, here we go. Okay, is that, yep, glued right down to the edge. Just ruffle that up a bit. I should have done that before gluing it down, obviously, but I didn't. Okay. Okay, so I really like how that looks, and then we could just see if it needs a little tiny bit of bling somewhere, because obviously that whole page is blingless at the moment. Completely blingless. Can't have that, can we? So let's just cut a bit. So could add a bit here in the ruffle. Oops, we've got a lot of thread going on here. Let's get rid of some of that. Or we could add some on here. Or we could add some right on there. Perhaps we'll add a tiny bit down the bottom like that. So just kind of add that like that. I hope I'm in frame when I'm doing this. Just, you kind of trust that you are, you know, kind of you set it up and you think, well, hopefully it's not moved and it should still capture the whole desk. But you know, sometimes you just do have to check. Right, and I'm just going to see if I've got any bows or anything like that that would be a good kind of colour match here that we could put here. Sadly, none of them are quite the right colour. You know, I have quite a few different colours here, but none are looking quite right. So we have the gold one. Look, perhaps the gold one looks best. Yeah, I think we'll go for the gold one, but not the satin. This is the gold organza. The satin looked a bit too bright. This looks kind of a bit more subdued. Okay, so I'm loving how that looks now. gorgeous, really gorgeous. So I might just do a little bit of blue over here. Oh, my blue is really kind of failing me now. I mean, to be fair, it's done incredibly well. As I say, I just need to be a bit careful because when my new one finally arrives, I'm going to be, you know, used to using this one. I'm having to press really hard and it's just going to be kind of juicy as anything and blue everywhere. Right, so I like how that's looking now. Really pretty. So we've managed to do quite a few different pages now. There, you know, really isn't that much more to do. I need to make a whole lot of paper clips because we're going to paper clip a lot of pieces in. Yeah, so I don't know whether we'll have time to come and play again or whether I will have to kind of finish it off in slow time. But, you know, one way or another, obviously you'll be seeing the finished article. So thanks very much for watching and I hope you'll all join me next time. I'll see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.